Okay, so today I am making, going along with the same Grand's biscuit, what I can make with it. So we have the flaky crust, which is what I used for the last video for the chicken pot pies. So I'm gonna make with those some apple pies. So I like to spray the pan whenever I'm baking something, not cooking, but baking. I like to use the baking pan, which has the flour in it. So what you want to do, there's going to be 8 biscuits or 8 pies that you're going to make. So you want to just spray 8 of these. Okay. Spray that, make sure you get the side, and it might go all over the place, but that's okay. And then what you want to do is just take these out and then cut them in half. Okay, so once you have the biscuits out, you want to take each one and you're just going to cut the in the middle. So really it's just like a puncture that you're doing all around it. Don't mind that sound, that's my daughter playing. Alright, so once you're all around, then you can actually just pull them apart. Okay, so you want to do that with all 8 of them, so you have the top and the bottom. And what you're going to do also is, once you do separate them, you want to just spread it out a little bit, like so. And then you can just put it in the tin here, the cupcake or muffin tin. Okay, just make sure that you keep the same tops with the bottoms. I don't know if it really matters, but I like to keep everything together. So, okay, so just do that with the rest of the biscuits. Okay, so now they have all 8 biscuits cut in half and put into the tin. You want to just move that off to the side, and you want to take a bowl, and we're going to make the sugar that the apple is going to be mixed in and then put into the pie. So you want to take some sugar, and I don't know measurements or anything right now for this because this is just my own little thing here, but I'm gonna take a cup. Yep, that's my daughter. I'm gonna take a cup of sugar and just put that in the bowl. About a cup. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. So I'm going to do that. And then you want, basic ingredient definitely is the ground cinnamon. And I used up all of my ground cinnamon when I baked for Christmas. Just gotta open this new one. Okay, and this is gonna be the ingredient, besides the sugar, that's gonna be the most. So you can do a tablespoon, actually, no, I'm sorry. You want to put it in as much or as little as you want. So, sorry, I'm thinking while I'm talking. So this is half a teaspoon. So I'm just gonna do 2 of these and see what that looks like. Okay, definitely want more in there. So I'm gonna do another half. Just mix it in. Okay, so that was, again, 1 cup of sugar, and it was 1.5 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. Okay, what you want to do next is, you can put anything in it. I'm going to put some allspice in it, and I'm going to put 1/2 teaspoon of that, about, you know, approximate. Just mix that around. Okay. Now you can put nutmeg or ginger in it. Since I have it here, I'm just going to put nutmeg in it. I do have ginger too, but I'll have to get it up. I want about 1/2 of it. And not quite 1/2 teaspoon. I don't want it to overpower. Just mix that in. Now, something that, if you don't bake, you may not know, but you definitely want to coat with flour as well. So what you're going to do is, because we put in 1 cup of sugar, I want to do about 2 tablespoons of flour. So, and that's an all-purpose flour. So you got 1, 2. And the flour basically is gonna, you know, allow it to bind, allow this mixture to bind to the apples. And I'm sorry about my daughter. Okay, so just mix that in good, and then we'll get to the apples. Okay, so now that you have the mixture prepared, make sure you preheat the oven to 375 while you're doing all this, just so it's nice and hot in there for when you're ready to pop these in the oven. So once we have the flour and sugar mixture ready, we're gonna take care of the apples now. Because this isn't a traditional apple pie, it's not as big, you need to make the slices smaller so that they fit into the biscuits. So you want to peel your apple, obviously, and then you can slice these any way that you want. You can use one of those apple slicers, or I think it's just as easy just to do this. And what you want to do is just slice them so you have, you know, each slice is about 1/2 inch or so thick. And then because this is going to be in the cupcake or biscuit tin, you want to make sure that you know, you don't leave them like this, otherwise you might be able to fit 2 of these in there. So we're just gonna cut these up. So they're gonna be, you know, small little bite-sized pieces. When you have them, you can actually just toss them in a bowl of their own. You could put them in this, but I don't know if we're going to actually need to use this whole thing. So just put them in their own bowl. And do about, I don't know how many apples I'm going to need for this. So if you do maybe 4 apples and then see if you need more, then you can always do more. But you don't want to cut up a ton of apples and have so much left over and you don't know what to do with it. Okay, so once you have your apples cut up, and I didn't mention, but you can use any apple, any kind of apple that you want. These are Granny Smiths because I had them laying around, but you can really use anything. So, and you can use a mixture of apples too, which will make the pie taste a little more unique. So what I like to do with my apple pies is, some people just like to mix the apples in the the sugar and flour mixture. Sorry, but I like to actually coat each layer of apples with the sugar while I'm putting it into the crust, or in this case, the biscuit dough. Okay, sorry, I had to take a break and take care of my baby. Okay, so what I'm going to do is start off with one of the, making one pie right now. So we will coat a little bit of the bottom with the sugar mixture, and then you want to mound the apples in there just like you would a regular apple pie. You want to make it so that the apples go over the top, so it's not even. You want it actually mounded, because what will happen is there's so much juice in these apples that during the baking process they actually sink, which is why a lot of times when you either make an apple pie or you get one, the top of the crust is sort of like a bubble over it. So you want to make sure that it doesn't sink too much. Now, when you do this, I filled it in because I just wanted to show you that that it should be mounded over, so you can see that. But I want to take some out, because what you want to do is while you're filling this up, you want to make sure that you put a little bit down, and then you want to sprinkle with sugar, coat that, then put some more down, and again sprinkle that with the mixture, and again. So each layer will be sprinkled with the mixture, and sprinkle it enough so that it covers and coats the apples. Okay, then we can put our top on, and just like with the chicken pot pie that I made in the last video, you want to do the same thing. Just get this tucked in here. Now it's a nice mound over, and the apples are right underneath that, so it's not like a bubble or anything. One thing that I didn't do with the chicken pot pie, because I didn't feel that I needed to, is slice a hole, slice into the top of this, but because this is an apple pie, and normally with apple pies you do need to slice through so that it can breathe a bit, I'm going to do that here. So you just want to put like a little breathable hole in the middle there. If you could do it with this dough, that's great, and you could want to do slices or do whatever, make it unique, you could definitely do that. But I'm just going to put a hole in it for now. So you want to continue doing that with the rest of these. Okay, so it turns out that 4 apples was plenty. And the apple size, they were all pretty small, sort of like a baseball size. So 4 is good. What you want to do, once you have them all punctured and put together, you want to sprinkle the tops with that sugar and flour mixture also. This will just make the outside of it taste just a little better, give it some flavor. Now typically with a traditional apple pie, when I make my own pie crust, I will actually, once put together, I'll brush some egg yolk on it. But you don't actually, I don't believe you have to do that with this. It's sticky enough, the dough, and the dough browns really nicely as is. So what we're going to do is once you have this all set, you just want to pop it in the oven. So we're going to put these in the oven. Now, we did preheat the oven to 375, so we're just going to pop these right in. And they should take about 18 minutes. You know, just keep checking them after 15 minutes. The top should be brown like a regular biscuit would be, and then you want to remove them from the oven. So, again, about 15 to 18 minutes. All right. So when you're cleaning up, you should have leftover of that sugar mixture. So you can save it. It's not going to go bad. It's just flour, sugar, and then the spices. And they can keep to, you know, as long, however long your, you know, each one individually will last for. So just, you can mark it with the date if you want. What's today? Is today the 9th? Today's the 10th. Okay. I know what day it is. Okay, so mark it with the date, and you can put what it is. So it's apple pie spice. Or mark it with whatever you will remember what it is. Because then you can use it again. If these come out good and you like them, you can make them again, or you can use it when you make traditional apple pie. Alright, these aren't done cooking yet. They're almost done. But can I tell you how awesomely yummy it smells in here? They smell like apple pie, but they also smell like cinnamon rolls. Oh my god. You gotta try this recipe if you're watching this. And I'll let you know how it tastes when it's done. Okay, so about 18 minutes passed. And I don't know if you can see, but they look really good. They smell delicious. And what I'm going to do is just let them cool for a while. They're going to be really hot inside, so maybe about 15 minutes. But as you can see, by lifting it, you know, they're actually held together. So, or maybe about 5 minutes, I'll let them sit in here, and then I'll transfer them to a wire rack to let them cool some more. All right, so I transfer them to a wire rack. Just be careful when you do pick them up, because like this one, the top started coming off. So I just used it with the help of a spoon to get them out. Now you just want to let them sit. You don't want to eat them when they're too hot, because you'll burn your mouth. So about 15 minutes, I'd say. You know, just let them sit before you eat them. And I gotta go take care of my baby. Okay, I'll be back in about 15 minutes to try it. Okay, so I let it cool down, and I opened it up, and as you can see, it looks really good in there. It did taste an apple, and it is very good. The apple is still a little bitey, as my mom puts it, meaning it still has a crunch. It's sort of soft, but still definitely has a crunch to it. So if you don't like that and you want the apples to be a little softer, then you may want to cook them ahead of time, or use the apple filling that comes in a can. That would work for this as well. Okay, but there you go. That's the easy apple pie with the Grand's biscuits. Hope you enjoyed this video, and can't wait to see what I'm gonna do next. Okay, thanks.